What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another blog post with Nevs. This time I'm going to be discussing the Xbox One announcement, and I'll go ahead and say right off the bat that I did not watch the press conference. Most of what I've learned about it has been from reading blog posts like on IGN and Engadget and a few other websites. And while it still is pretty early on and there's not a lot of information out there about the Xbox One, I wanted to go ahead and give you guys my thoughts of what I liked, what I didn't like so much about the stuff that's currently out there. So I'm going to start off with the things that I liked about the Xbox One. I like what I'm seeing from the hardware side of things. The controller looks pretty nice. Some of my fans on here may know that I personally believe that the Xbox 360 controller is the best gaming pad out there currently. I personally prefer it to the PlayStation 3 controller. And the fact that Microsoft has plug-and-play support for most games on the PC using their controller is a nice bonus as well. And I'm hoping that Microsoft will continue that trend over into the Xbox One. So the hardware side of things looks nice. I'm hoping they've learned from their mistakes of the Red Ring of Death and they'll actually step up and make this a decent build quality. Considering how much money Microsoft lost on Red Ring of Death issues, I feel like Microsoft will probably step it up a little bit more this time. And try to make the console a little bit better build quality. The machine seems to pack decent enough specs, at least for the ones that have currently been talked about, such as the 8-core processor. I would not be surprised to see this generation of consoles outlive even the Xbox 360 generation. The addition of a Blu-ray drive and the support for discs, I think will definitely extend the longevity of the platform. I was a bit concerned when I was hearing rumors that the Xbox One would not support discs. I don't mind downloadable games for the PC because I know I'll be able to play them 10 years down the road. It's not always the case with consoles, though. I like that they're continuing to do the external storage idea, where you can plug up your own hard drive and use that as a storage device for the Xbox. Because currently the ones that you plug into the actual Xbox 360 have their own special format, and it's very difficult to install your own hard drive in there. And they like to charge out the ass for things like that, so it's nice to be able to know that I can take my own hard drive and use it as storage. Now I'm going to get into the things that I didn't like so much about the Xbox One currently. I think it's quite an oversight that they have not allowed any means of playing old Xbox 360 games or even arcade games. They really should try to make this stuff a little more universal at this point, because I can still play PC games from the late 90s on my Windows 8 machine, and yet we still can't get a console that can play older games. Maybe there's a lot more that goes into that than I realize, but it still kind of frustrates me that they didn't even try. I'm also a bit concerned with what their plans for used games are. From the looks of it, you're going to have to do some sort of authorization, which may actually end up costing you certain fees that they may tack on. And I'm sure many people will be frustrated by that. But there's not really currently enough information out there to be able to discuss that in depth. I'm also not impressed with the current lineup of exclusive titles that they announced. They only announced a handful of games, none of which seemed all that interesting to me. And that was stretching all the way through the first year. I assume that they'll have more than that, but they really didn't have much to say. It seemed a little premature when they announced it. Probably the biggest issue I've had with the console at the moment is the rumor that the Xbox One will require a once every 24 hours internet connection in order to be able to use properly. I've been very vocal about my frustrations with always online DRM protection, where companies will require you to be online in order to play a single-player game. Something like this, if it turned out to be true, would most likely make me not want to get the Xbox One. Now I want to give my overall impressions and verdict on the console at the moment. Keep in mind there's not a lot of information out there about the device, so I need to really wait and see what's going to happen with it when it actually gets released. Overall, I would say I'm very disappointed in the preview. If they really want me to buy this console at launch, they're going to have to really surprise me with some awesome things at this point. My plan is to wait until the console is released, see what people's verdict is, and then maybe decide if I really want to get it. Currently, I would say that I'm going to be staying away from the Xbox One for the time being, especially until some decent games start coming out for the system, and all the initial bugs and manufacturer kinks are worked out. And I'm hoping that Microsoft has learned their lesson about the Red Ring of Death and will actually build this thing to last. So that's my overall thoughts on the current Xbox One announcements, but I want to know what you guys think. What's your opinions on the Xbox One? Do you think you'll be buying one? Do you not think you'll be buying one, and why? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.